Zeal Education Society, redefining excellence.
Hello friends, I am Professor Shweta Yadav from Department of Electrical Engineering from Zeal College of Engineering and Research. Today we will see single phase full wave rectifier with center tapped or a midpoint R load. Okay, so there are various types of full wave rectifiers. So let's see. First of all, full wave rectifier there are two ways. First is center tap and another is bridge rectifier. In center tap, we will tap the secondary winding in the middle point, okay, and then we will use two diodes for this rectification purpose. But in bridge rectifier, we will not tap any type of winding, means any type of primary or secondary winding. We will just use four diodes and then we will take a full wave output. Okay. So first of all, in this lecture we will see center tap. Again in center tap we will see two categories: center tap with load R and center tap with load L and R both. Okay. Similarly, for bridge rectifier also we will see bridge rectifier with R load and bridge rectifier with RL load. Okay. So in this lecture we will see center tapped with R load. Okay. So I will draw circuit for it. This is an input. This is primary winding of transformer. So here I will tap secondary winding in very middle. So upper portion and lower portion windings will be same. So this is D1, voltage across this will be VD1. This is D2, voltage will be VD2. This is load resistance R and voltage across this will be output voltage V0. Okay. So suppose I will consider this point as a, this point as a O and this point as a B. Now the turns ratio here for primary and secondary winding is kept unity for simplicity here, okay, and we have tapped at a very middle point, means here both windings will be equal. So equal amount of voltage and current will flow from this both branches, okay. So now we will see, suppose here we have given Vm sin omega t as a input voltage, okay, and I will draw an input voltage here first of all. Okay, for Vm sin omega t. So this is Vs. Vs is equal to Vm sin omega t here. So similarly, here I will show and V0 output. Here I will show VD1, voltage across D1. then here it will be VD2, and last will be current I0. Okay. Now, so this is a circuit for center tap full wave, because we will get a full wave at output side, at output voltage here, and center tap with R load. Here only I have used only R load. Okay, I have used here two diodes, diode 1 and diode 2. Voltage across this diode will be VD1 and voltage across this another diode will be VD2. This is point A, B and O of secondary winding. Okay, now we will see when there will be a positive wave here, when there will be a positive wave at input side, means at this side, so this will be plus minus. Okay, similarly this will be plus and minus, and at that time A point will be more positive compared to O and B. Okay, so A point will be more positive with respect to O and B. Okay, B is more negative, but compared to O, B is more negative, O is more positive, but A is more positive with respect to O and B. And so now here the diode will be in reverse bias. This diode will be in reverse biased. Okay, so there will be no conduction here, and here it will act as a open switch. Okay, similarly here is a positive, so here will be positive, negative, and so diode 1 will be in a forward biased. Okay, so diode 1 D1 will be in conduction, and so here this path will be acting as a closed switch. Okay, so for positive half cycle, if I will draw here circuit, so this will be like closed switch and this will be like open switch here. So from this path current will flow in this way. Okay, so current will flow in this direction, I0. Okay, so this is a current flowing, I0 will flow in this direction and it will complete a path. So at that time I will get voltage V0 across these two terminals. So V0 voltage will be same as that of input voltage. Vm will be the amplitude of it. Okay, so for when A is more positive than O or B, then for pi radians, okay, for this much time of pi radians, it will conduct, diode 1 will conduct. Okay, now for the negative half cycle here, so for the negative half cycle here, negative half cycle means now this will be minus, this will be plus, this will be minus, this will be plus. Okay, so when this is minus, this is plus, at that time here it is minus, so my this diode 1 will be a reverse biased, and so it will not conduct at that time, and if it is not conducting, then this will act as a open switch. And diode 2 means here is positive, and so more positive than compared to O and A, B is more positive, so at that time here will be plus minus and D2 will start conducting. Okay, and so the current will flow in this direction, from this direction. Okay, and so this is again I-O, current flowing. Current in the both cases, current through this branch is flowing in the same direction. Okay, so continuous current we are getting, continuous voltage we are getting, even though there is a negative half cycle here. Okay, so for the negative half cycle also here I am getting a current and voltage across this R load. Okay, so for this negative also here I am getting a positive VO. So if I will draw this circuit again here, so this will be an open circuit. Here is a resistance and this will be now closed switch, and now current will flow in this direction. Here it was flowing from this direction. So in this way, for the half cycle this diode 1 will conduct, and for the rest half cycle, which is negative half cycle, diode 2 will conduct. So for the particularly for positive, I have got here positive output. For negative also I have got here positive output, and here also I will get a positive output. Okay. So these are the output waveforms. So we are getting a full wave, means in half wave rectifier we were getting only for the half wave, and for the rest half negative cycle we were getting 0 output. And here because of 2 diodes, here we are getting full wave output. Okay. So now we will see voltage across D1. So as before also I have told that whenever diode 1 is in conduction, so it is acting like a closed switch, diode 1 is in a forward biased, at that time voltage across this diode will be 0. So here for the first positive half cycle, of output, my VD1 will be 0 because it is conducting. At the same time diode 2 is not conducting. Here see, the D1 is closed switch and D2 is open switch. So D2 is open switch, and so here across these 2 terminal I will get voltage, and that voltage will be minus 2 Vm. Okay, for D2, because there will be twice of Vm, across this VD2. So here I will get, for when D1 is in conduction, D2 is not in conduction, at that time voltage across D2 will be minus 2 Vm. So this amplitude will be 2 Vm, minus 2 Vm. Okay. And whenever diode 1 is in conduction, okay, so now diode 1 is in conduction, diode 2 is having inverse voltage, okay, which is maximum 2 Vm. But when now diode 1 is in, for the next half cycle, negative half cycle, diode 1 is not in conduction. At that time the voltage across diode 1 will be minus 2 Vm or 2 Vm, it is in negative half cycle. At that time D2 is conducting here. So D2 is conducting, and so voltage across D2 will be 0. Again for the next half cycle it will repeat. So D1 will be 0 and D2 will be again 2 Vm. Okay. So in this way we have seen diode 1 and diode 2 voltages. Now we will see how current waveform will be. So for the first positive half cycle, when output voltage we are getting here, at that time current will be also positive. Okay, which is having Im amplitude. Okay. Similarly, for the negative half cycle also, even though D1 is switched off, D2 is conducting, and so from this branch, from this load branch here, I0 will be same, okay, as V0 shape. So here also I will get an output, okay, and again here also I will get output. So current waveform will be also continuous, that is full wave. Okay. So in this way we have seen an operation of center tap full wave rectifier with R load. Okay. Here we are using only 2 diodes. By using only 2 diodes, it is possible to get full wave rectification. Okay. But here peak inverse voltage on diode was minus 2 Vm, which is quite huge. Okay. And this waveform I have drawn with respect to considering that these diodes are ideal, not practical. Okay. So now we will see performance parameters for it. Okay. So for performance parameter, so first I will take average output voltage. So average output voltage V0 formula is 1 upon T integration 0 to T V0 d omega t. And output voltage here is, we are getting here Vm, okay, Vm sin omega t, okay, but for only pi radians, okay. So for each pi radians I am getting an output. So my time period now became 1 upon pi, because for each pi period I am getting, okay, integrating 0 to pi Vm sin omega t d omega t. So I will solve this equation. So it will become 1 upon pi integration, here Vm I will take outside, so here it will be Vm by pi integration 0 to pi sin omega t d omega t. I will continue this equation and in this way here. So it will be Vm upon pi, so integration of sin will be minus cos omega t, limits is 0 to pi. I will put this limits here. So Vm upon pi, so minus, here I will first of all write cos pi, minus into minus, plus cos 0, okay. So here will be minus of minus 1 plus 1. Minus in, yeah, so it will become 2, here will be answer 2 Vm by pi. So my average output voltage V0 is equal to 2 Vm upon pi. Okay, so this is my output voltage I have got here. Now average output voltage. Similarly, we will see an RMS output voltage. So second quantity is which is VOR, I will representing it, okay. So RMS output voltage VOR is equal to square root of 1 upon T integration of 0 to T VO square d omega t. And VO means V0 we know output. I will take the square root on this side. So VOR square is equal to 1 upon, as I have told, we are conducting for only pi radians, so it will be 1 upon pi, so 0 to pi radians, and V0 square means Vm square sin square omega t into d omega t. I will solve this equation. So here Vm square will be constant and it will come out of integration pi. So here integration 0 to pi. So sin square omega t formula is 1 minus cos 2 omega t upon 2 d omega t. I will take this 2 outside also. Vm square upon 2 pi, and here it will be integration of 0 to pi 1 minus cos 2 omega t d omega t. And now I will take an integration of this, so it will be Vm square and 2 pi, and I will put values in it. So it will be becoming pi minus 1, or I will write pi minus cos 2 pi, then minus 0 minus cos 0, okay. So these values are from 0 to pi, and so it will be Vm square upon 2 pi, pi minus 1 and minus 0 minus 1, okay. So here it will be Vm square upon 2 pi, so here pi minus 1 and this will become plus 1. So this will get cancelled, this pi will also get cancelled, it will be Vm square upon 2, and so VOR will be square root of Vm square upon 2, and that will become Vm upon root 2. So this is a final value for RMS output voltage, Vm by 2. Now it's very easy to find out other quantities. So I will write down third quantity is average output current. So that is I0. I0 is nothing but output average voltage upon resistance, that is load, that is resistance. So we know output of voltage was 2 Vm by pi, we have derived before only, and this R. So now my output average voltage is I0 is equal to 2 Vm by pi R. Fourth one is RMS output voltage. So RMS output current. So RMS output voltage upon load. So RMS output voltage is Vm upon root 2 into R now. So this is RMS output current formula. Okay. Now fifth. So I will derive PDC, that is output DC power. Okay. So this will be V0 into I0. Okay. So V0 we know it is in the last lecture we have seen 2 Vm upon pi is the V0, and into I0. I0 we have derived as a 2 Vm upon pi R. So this will become 4 Vm square upon pi square into R. So this is a formula for PDC. Now PAC. PAC, that is input AC power. Okay. So input AC power will be VOR into IOR. VOR is, we know, Vm upon root 2 into IOR is Vm upon root 2 into R. So it will become Vm square. So root 2 into root 2, it will become 2 into R. So this is PAC. And these two quantities will be required to find out an efficiency. Okay. So efficiency is equal to, efficiency in percentage is output DC power to input AC power into 100. Okay. So output DC power will be equal to, PDC we have derived 4 Vm square upon pi square R. Okay. So I will multiply here with the reciprocal of PAC, that is Vm square upon 2R. Reciprocal of it will be 2R upon Vm square. So after cancelling and deriving, my output will be 81.06%. So see, if you will compare this with the half wave rectifier, it was 40%. So efficiency has improved because for the rest of the half cycle also we are getting an output. Okay. So this efficiency is 81.06. Now next is form factor. Seventh was form factor. So form factor formula, we know it's an RMS quantity upon average quantity of any voltage or any current. Okay. So RMS quantity is RMS quantity of voltage upon average quantity of voltage. So this is a ratio. Now we will derive VOR, we know Vm upon root 2, and we will multiply with the reciprocal of V0. So V0 we were having pi upon 2 Vm. So after cancelling several terms and equating it, we will get 1.1107 as my form factor. Okay. Now then here we will see ripple factor. Ripple factor of voltage. So formula for it is square root of form factor square minus 1. ripple factor of voltage. Okay. So form factor we know it is 1.1107 bracket square minus 1. So answer will be 0.4834. It's a simple calculation, so you may also do it on Calci. Then it is 10th one, peak inverse voltage. Okay, as I have told that there will be twice of Vm on it. Okay, so it will be minus 2 Vm or minus 2 Vm. So here voltage across diode is quite huge, okay, compared to half wave rectifier. In half wave rectifier peak inverse voltage was Vm, and in center tap bridge rectifier, which is full wave rectifier, here peak inverse voltage is twice of Vm, which is not good with respect to diode. Then last one is crest factor. Okay. Okay, so formula for crest factor is Im upon ratio of Im upon IOR, and I am having IOR is nothing but into root 2 upon Im. So these both will get cancelled, so answer will be root 2. So crest factor is equal to root 2 for center tap full wave bridge rectifier. Okay, so in this way we have seen certain performance parameters. Okay, so this by observing also and by solving also we may come to know that whether our rectifier is efficient or not, or whether it is directly used in any industrial applications or any type of applications. Okay, so in this way we have studied center tap bridge rectifier, center tap midpoint, center tap or a midpoint full wave rectifier. In another lecture we will see full wave bridge rectifier, okay, with R load. Okay, so thank you so much. I hope you have understand this.
Zeal Education Society, redefining excellence.